I don't think about it that much, but the numbers are pretty overwhelming, yeah.
For more than 50 years, Martina Navratilova has seen the highs, the drama, and everything in between that tennis has to offer.
What makes a champion tennis player?
What makes a champion? Anything. It's the same old, champions don't quit until they get it right. They're the first ones in the gym and the last ones to leave, and they're not afraid to fail.
I've only dreamed of making tennis grow in the Philippines, and now I'm bringing a whole new audience to tennis all around the world.
And she's humble, and she works hard. Yes, that's why we like her, because she's the face of the Philippines.
Just aside from her talent, she's also thinking of the future.
The Filipinos we have such a strong sense of community, and I feel like when one of us does well or one of us is succeeding, we all have that shared sense of pride.
So when Eala plays, we all get together and we all watch her support her as a group of people.
Are there actual gatherings?
Oh yeah,
really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We plan our dinners around that stuff.
Really? You sign up for Tennis Channel to watch her?
Yeah, because sometimes they don't show it.
So the year subscription, just in case.
The monthly.
Oh, the monthly. Okay.
The monthly, just in case she doesn't play, then we don't. Right? You only pay when she plays. It's paid to play.
My friends will tell me that the courts are full at home and just so many things that I didn't think would happen because of what I'm doing on tour. So.
Grand Slam winners, talented generations, crowded stadiums, and cultural events that altered the sport indefinitely. She is currently witnessing a 20-year-old Filipino sell out every court she enters at. Indian fans are cramming through fences to witness a practice session at Wells. She wasn't prepared for this either. How far do you think Alex Eala will go in Indian Wells 2026, to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, or something unexpected? Post your prediction in the comments section right now. Let's begin with the image that is now causing a stir on the internet and, it seems, undermining the Indian Wells Tennis Garden's ability to function. Practice Court 6 is a practice court, not a stadium or a match court, and it has gone utterly insane. Before a single competitive point has been played, spectators are cramming over the fences on nearby courts to catch a sight of Alex Eala striking balls during a warm-up. Former ATP professional Christopher Eubanks, who has been involved in the sport long enough to understand what normal looks like, stated on broadcast that organizers really need to move onto a larger court because the number of fans crowding the grounds is a legitimate safety problem. A player ranked 32nd in the world had a safety concern during a practice session. We are at Indian Wells 2026 with Alex Eala. And it's a very difficult week for those who believed the Dubai phenomena was a one-tournament story.
We're not concerned about anyone else right now. It's Alex Eala time. This is Alex Eala's moment. Our days, our dinners, our evenings are fixated on when she's playing. That's real tennis fandom right there. Love it.
This is so great for tennis in general. I think having players like Alex out there, and she's so gracious to all her fans. She spends time with her fans, signs the autographs, takes the photos, and really just shows the Filipino community that it is all about the Philippines. And I still carry that flag with me no matter where I go across the world. And such a young woman at that has that wisdom of just what it means to play for her country.
Only 20 years old, such maturity, already a hero to her entire nation. I mean, it's basically Manny Pacquiao and Alex Eala, right? I mean, that's it. That's who they're looking up to, right?
Let's return to Dubai, as that is where the model for what was originally written in its entirety and is currently taking place in California. The tennis in Dubai following the occasion, Salatlak, the director of the championships competition, delivered an interview that attracted notice from the tennis community. He spoke to the fact that every single ELA match was sold out, poorly attended, and poorly ticketed. His framing was purposeful and perfect. There were no tickets remaining despite people's urgent attempts to obtain them. He then included the section that caused everyone to stop scrolling. He has been in charge of the event since 2019, and he has never seen anything like it. A tournament director with years of experience overseeing an event that has featured defending Grand Slam champions and world number ones claims that a player ranked outside the top 30 produced something he had never seen before. It wasn't the largest audience, it wasn't a fantastic mood, or it was anything unheard of. These are significantly different claims, and Talek selected the more persuasive one since it was true. During all of that, what was Eala really doing in court? In the round of 32, she defeated Italy's Jasmine Pini, ranked 7th in the world, marking her first victory in the top 10 of 2026. After that, she advanced far into the quarterfinals before falling to Coco Gauff, ranked 4th in the world, 6-0, 6-2 in straight sets. On paper, the scoreline versus Gauff appeared lopsided, but the path leading up to that game revealed an entirely different picture of Eala's present skill level and rate of development. She had a 10-6 record for 2026 when she came in Dubai. Auckland will host the semifinals, and there will be quarterfinals across the points from those runs put her at a career high of number 31 in the world, with numerous events already piling up. Sufficient to earn a first-round purchase at a WTA 1000 event for the first time in her career and break into the top 32 seedings at Indian Wells. With a first-round purchase, she avoids playing an opening round and advances directly to the round of 64. That is a privilege that she has won through ranking, and it shows how far she has come in a fairly brief period of professional tennis. She is currently in California, where the ticket crisis has followed her from the United Arab Emirates with no decrease in intensity and what appears to be some extra fuel due to the local topography. With nearly 2 million residents, California boasts the largest Filipino population in the entire country. To watch her perform, these fans don't have to arrange foreign travel and get through customs. They have already arrived, mobilized, and landed on the Indian Wells Tennis Garden with an intensity and volume that the ground crew was just unprepared for. It wasn't because they couldn't buy tickets to a game that the spectators at practice court 6 were pushing through fences. They were acting in this way because they wanted to be as physically near to her as they could at all times throughout the competition. That degree of dedication is not the result of idle curiosity. It originates from a fan base that has been following the development of this particular player's story for years and is deeply invested in each point she makes. One of the broadcast analysts asked a question during the live discussion of this topic, which has since spread throughout the tennis community. Is Alex currently the most popular player in women's tennis worldwide? His co-analyst's remark was unhedged. He contrasted the impact she's having to that of Yannick S's ascension on the men's side, describing arenas in Australia and Dubai as standing room only, and described the atmosphere surrounding her matches as outrageous and tremendous. However, the analysts covering A are now claiming that what she's doing is actually greater than S's Miami moment. Those who cover this sport professionally are making that analogy on the broadcast. And when someone specifically questioned whether she was currently more popular than Arena, the two players who most people would have identified as the sport's main draws are Sabalenka and Coco Gauff. Yes was the response. Those who disagree with that response ought to start by outlining the sold-out practice courts. Let's now discuss Martina Navratilova, as her remarks regarding Eala are the aspect of this tale that merits the closest examination. Navratilova has won 18 Grand Slam singles championships. At the ages of 33 and 34, she won consecutive women's competitions at Indian Wells. From Chrissy Ever to Steffi Graf to Serena Williams, she has witnessed the evolution of the sport over 50 years. In the current tennis commentary climate, when everyone has a platform and views are cheap, her evaluation of a young player has a level of authority that is actually uncommon. Prior to the 2026 BNP Paribas Open, Navratilova had a sunshine swing preview on the WTA's official site. She laughed before she even began to speak when my name was mentioned. Laughing is not dismissive, according to those who carefully follow Navratilova. It's the chuckle of someone who understands something truly hard to classify. She referred to Eala as a cunning person. She claimed that her left-handedness is a true tactical weapon and that she employs her versatility in a way that seriously hinders opponents. Then, pointing to Eala's potential ceiling, she remarked that Eala's ceiling is actually higher than Pacquiao's and compared the cultural phenomenon around her to Manny Pacquiao. From Martina Navratilova regarding a 20-year-old who was rated 32nd in the world on the WTA's own platform. However, Navratilova, being Navratilova, continued to give accolades. She got right to the point about how much work Eala still needs to accomplish. She was quite particular about the serve. She selected that as the location with the largest ceiling at the moment. She stated, "Ella needs a bigger serve with more kick," and acknowledged that her slight build makes it physically harder to generate the kind of pace that top 10 players use to control matches from the first shot. This is why the evaluation is more important than it may seem. Navratilova didn't criticize the choice of shooting. She didn't voice any worries about her agility, her court sense, her capacity to mentally compete with well-known figures, or her ability to make decisions under duress. She pointed out one particular technical shortcoming, the serve, and presented it as a subject of physical growth rather than a mental or strategic constraint. In fact, the best praise that someone with Navratilova's talent for the game could have given it was that kind of focused criticism. In essence, she is stating that everything else is already operating at a level that merits serious consideration. The conversation completely shifts when the service is fixed. Additionally, Navratilova's remarks are timed in an intriguing way. She made them aware that the circuit is shifting around Sabalenka, Swiatek, and Goff in an interview. Players like Ella are part of a generation that approaches the court against well-known players without feeling intimidated, has tactical clarity, and carefully studies opponents. Navratilova is pointing out this structural change. A more general statement about how the next wave is coming, rather than a critical assessment of a single player's successful season. Let's now examine the particular pressure Eala is bringing to Indian Wells in addition to the audience and expectations. In 2025, she made an incredible run to the Miami Open semifinals, defeating players ranked much higher than her, such as Grand Slam winners Madison Keys and Galina Ostapenko. A substantial number of points were scored during the Miami run. It is now necessary to justify such points. For the first time in her career, her ranking gets impacted if her Indian Wells campaign falls short of what she accomplished in Miami last year. She might make it into the top 20 with a strong run at Indian Wells, the quarterfinals, or higher. Everything is altered by that number, the top 20. At Grand Slams, it modifies seedings. The drawings she enters are altered. It transforms the story from one of a breakthrough to one of an established force. And it shifts the topic of discussion from, is she the biggest draw despite being ranked outside the top 30, to, is she the biggest draw full stop? On paper, the draw at Indian Wells is not favorable, but it is also not insurmountable. A rematch with Goff in the third round was made possible with a victory over Diana Yastremska in the round of 64. In Dubai, the same Goff defeated her 6-0, 6-2. Jasmine Polini is one of the bracket's potential quarterfinal opponents. Eala already defeated Polini in Dubai for her first victory in the top 10 this year. The route is challenging. For a player who has already proven she can defeat top 10 opponents on major occasions this season, it is also manageable. She and Ava Yoick are also competing in the doubles draw. The same team, ranked 18th in the world, advanced to the semifinals in Auckland in January. Competing intensely in both singles and doubles over the course of 2 weeks in the California Desert Test, demonstrating physical fitness at a level that will reveal a lot about her current state of health. A player who has made significant physical preparation investments is able to go deep in both categories without fading. And it appears that she has done just that based on every evidence from her 2026 season thus far. The detail that unifies everything going on here into a single, distinct picture is Christopher Eubanks' safety worry regarding the practice court scenario. A former ATP professional arguing logistically with event administrators on court assignments for a WTA player who hasn't won a main tour title yet. One of the most legitimately unique narratives in recent tennis history is the discrepancy between her ranking and her practical influence. And it's happening in real time at one of the most esteemed locations in the sport. With 54,268 spectators over 15 days last year, the Indian Wells Tennis Garden smashed its own all-time attendance record. Eala wasn't included in the draw at all. She didn't participate in the discussion. Fans are cramming over fences at practice courts before a single match has been played, and she is here for the first time as a seeded player at a WTA 1000 event. When my name was mentioned, Navratilova chuckled. The director of the event in Dubai ran out of tickets. A former ATP professional is advocating for larger courts for safety reasons, and broadcast analysts are comparing the phenomena to the most spectacular moments in recent men's tennis. The insanity is genuine. The demand has been confirmed, and the tennis is strong enough to support it all. That's the complete image of what Alex Eala is doing to Indian Wells 2026 and what Martina Navratilova stated about her, which the tennis community is still trying to comprehend. Please click the like button and share your prediction in the comments section below if this piqued your interest. Additionally, subscribe right away if you haven't already. This narrative is not at all